different person to the man we saw at Misano in Parc Ferme. He's beaten Valentino Rossi. Must be his best race since Mugello. Not only with the result, that speaks for itself, but just the confidence and the way he rode and the way he fought off the challenge of Valentino Rossi, because it's him that fought off the challenge that caused Rossi to make the mistake.
Yeah. Marc Marquez, well, he was dominant all weekend. There were some good rides down the field. The two Aprilias inside the Bautista 9th and Bridal 10th. Good day for the Nawali factory. Marc Marquez, though, in that kind of form, he is unstoppable. And of course, edging closer to a third Premier Class world title. It would be his fifth across all three Grand Prix classes he's raced in.
23 years old.
He's got a few more in him, hasn't he?
He's got a lot more in him. We look at Valentino Rossi with those 9 world titles. Marc Marquez, that was him back to his very, very best. Here's Valentino Rossi, third place, talking to Dylan.
Well, Valentino, you got off your bike and you looked straight at your rear tyre and at Jorge's rear tyre. Do you think you maybe burnt yours up a little bit too much fighting in the early stages?
No. We started with a different setting, and we tried to be strong to the end of the race. But at the end, I was spinning a lot. Anyway, I think that everybody are on the same boat, and it's a shame because 2 laps to go, I did a mistake in braking, and I have to go wide. If not, we can fight for the second place. But anyway, the podium is okay.
Thanks a lot, Valentino.
Yeah, it was a shame, but I think Lorenzo's pace made him make the mistake. It was a brave overtaking manoeuvre, but he did run it on. He's still on the podium, and he said all he can look for is podium finishes every race. That's the 4th consecutive podium finish. Here's Jorge Lorenzo, still smiling as he arrives with Dylan.
Well, Jorge, you made a last-minute change on the grid. You decided to go with the harder rear tyre. It obviously paid off for you, but what was it like at the end with that pressure from Valentino?
Well, you know, probably the crash from this morning made me finish second today because I crashed in the warm-up, so we needed to do 2 warming laps. So I tried the first bike with the hard rear tire, and I like it a lot, no? It was the first time that the hard rear tire liked me. So when I tried the other one, the soft one, I didn't feel good. So the instinct told me to choose the hard one, and finally the instinct make me make a good result. So I'm very, very proud. I did the maximum all the race, and finally we finished closer than we expected to the winner.
Thanks a lot, Jorge. Congratulations.
It's a brave man that admits it was a crash that brought the great result. This is the start of the race, boy. This is MotoGP at its fiercest. Where did Vinales come from?
That was a brilliant smash and grab raid, wasn't it, by Vinales? This is Marc Marquez. This is where he was superb all race long at turn number 15. That was one of about 5 overtakes he made at turn number 15. I think he might have just felt that that one was perhaps just a little bit close to Jorge Lorenzo. I think he just put his arm out there just to acknowledge him.
Marc Marquez, magnificent victory here in Spain.
Well, Marc, you're back to winning ways, but you didn't make it quite as easy as we might have thought. How tough was it to recover after that big scare in lap number 3?
Yeah, I start not so good, but the first lap I attacked because I know that my rhythm was better. And my target was try to leading the race for avoid that Rossi can follow me. But I did a mistake. When I was leading, I nearly lost the front, and then I say, okay, take calm, warm well the front tire because I was with the hard one, and then step by step get a good rhythm. When I overtake Valentino, I pushed 2 laps, and then when I saw that the distance was quite enough, then I just tried to keep the rhythm, and really happy, no, because you know, last races, okay, step by step, but Rossi was gaining points, and now we stop, and this is good.
Okay, thanks a lot, Marc. Congratulations.
Yeah, very important race as far as the championship goes. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And Marquez, well, we thought he was going to run away with it, and that's exactly what he did. 52 points between them now in their battle with 4 rounds to go. Normally when you see this is when a rider's crashed and he's trying to get back to the pit. This is him wanting to celebrate with the crowd in front of the biggest stone wall, I think, the biggest dry stone wall, certainly in racing, probably in the world, I would imagine. Yeah, he's back in business, 4th Grand Prix win of the season. Now, big advantage in the championship. As people are going to go home happy. Well, the rain, if it's coming, is forecast for 5:30. We're just coming up to 3 o'clock, so plenty of time to make their way home. There we are, crates already being loaded up because it's the flyaways next. Motegi in Japan, the next round of this extraordinary MotoGP World Championship. Podium beckons. It's a long time, isn't it, Matt, since he stood on the top step of the podium, Marc Marquez, in his home country.
Yeah, Valencia 2014. It's a long time since he's won a dry race as well.
Austin?
Texas, yeah, Circuit of the Americas in Texas. Who would have thought that at the start of the season when he was in that kind of form? Of course, winner in Argentina as well.
There's a brother there. I won't tell you what happened in the Moto2, but it's been a good day for the Marquez family.
This was Rossi taking 2nd place early on in the race with a nice move up the inside of Lorenzo at the first corner. Lorenzo, though, the shark bit back, didn't he, here at turn number 4? And then Rossi had a look up the inside of Lorenzo at turn number 12 on the penultimate lap. You can see how hard Valentino Rossi's pushing.
Rear wheel off the ground of Rossi.
Trying to scrub off 200 kilometres an hour as he tries to get close enough to attack Lorenzo on the brakes down to the first corner. There he is, the shark's got his bite back, hasn't he?
Yeah. That's going to make a very interesting final 4 races of the season. And the championship's not over, but it well could be over, but I think it's going to see Lorenzo back in form. Rossi is a 4th consecutive podium finish. Marquez back on the top 7 of the podium, yeah. Motegi, Phillip Island, Sepang and Valencia to come. Valentino Rossi in 3rd place. What I like to hear in Spain, no boos for Valentino Rossi. Unfortunately, when you're in Italy, Lorenzo and Marquez, Lorenzo in particular, get quite a rough reception from the crowd, don't they? And here he is, back on the top step, first time since Germany. Increases that lead in the World Championship. Motorland Aragon belongs to Marc Marquez.
Constructor trophy being handed over to Honda staff. Of course, they'd love to repeat Marquez's success in 3 weeks' time in Japan. The twin ring Motegi, built, designed and owned by Honda. Been a good recent run for HRC, of course, with wins for Danny Pedrosa, Cal Crutchlow and Jack Miller. 3rd place trophy will be to Valentino Rossi very, very shortly.
Yeah, his 4th consecutive podium finish. He really can do a lot more. I don't think he'd do a lot more in this race either. Push Marquez hard for 2 or 3 laps and then fought all the way to try and get past Lorenzo. But it's another podium finish for the 7-year-old.
Yeah, the 219th of his Grand Prix career, the 183rd in the Premier class. Here's Jorge Lorenzo's 2nd place trophy then. 143rd podium for the Spaniard. He's 105th in the MotoGP class, and he cuts Rossi's lead to 14 points in that battle for 2nd place in the championship. There's still plenty to fight for between the 2 Yamaha teammates.
It's going to be a rare old battle, that is. Probably go all the way to Valencia, which will not please Valentino Rossi. So here we go. Congratulations to Marc Marquez. He hasn't cemented that world title, but he's taken a big, big step towards the 26th world title by winning here, Motorland Aragon. Warm applause from the team and his younger brother, Alex Marquez. His 4th Grand Prix victory of the season. His cap on the wrong way round. Don't see that so often from Marc Marquez. Carver flows. What's going to be happening in 3 weeks' time when we are in Japan, in Motegi. Boy, Lorenzo still celebrating being back in 2nd place. First time since Mugello when he won the race in Italy. Way back in, the end of June. Of the liquid acting in Marc Marquez's face. Fierce old battle. Just reading down the results and the time differences really don't tell the story of this race. Ferocious opening few laps, a mistake by Marc Marquez. Maverick Vinales right in there. Then he made a couple of mistakes that took him back to 4th. Lorenzo and Rossi fought out a good battle for 2nd place. Rossi made a mistake 1.5 laps from the end, had to settle for 3rd. So no little short European hop this time round. We're on the flyaways. We're away for 3 weeks, and we start on October the 16th. The Twin Ring Circuit at Motegi in Japan. Followed straight away by the Phillip Island Grand Prix in Australia. 3 races in 2 weeks. And we finished the flyaways at Sepang in Malaysia before that final round of the championship in Spain, in Valencia. Confirmation then of the final results, and as I say, the times don't really tell the story. Marquez wins, Lorenzo 2nd, Rossi 3rd, Vinales 4, Crutchlow 5, Pedrosa 6, Alessio Spargaro 7, Pol Espargaro 8, and Alvaro Bautista in 9th place on the Aprilia. What a great day for Aprilia, because Stefan Bradl finishes in 10th place. Wrong tyre choice by Andrea Dovizioso, 11. 12, Michele Perot replacing the injured Andrea Iannone, Hector Barbara, Eugene Lafferty, and Nicky Hayden on his one and only Grand Prix appearance of the season, picking up a single point in 15th place. 16th was Yoni Hernandez. 17th, Danilo Petrucci had a ride through penalty after an incident with his teammate Scott Redding on the very first lap. Loris Baz in 18th place, and a crash, unfortunately, for the Moto2 winner from last year, Tito Rabat. 52 points now separate Marquez and Rossi in the championship. 4 rounds to go. Lorenzo closing on Rossi. 14 points between the 2 Yamaha riders in their battle for 2nd place. Pedrosa, Vinales, Crutchlow, Dovizioso, Iannone, despite not being here. A little bit further down, nobody, well, just Alvaro Bautista moving up 1, and Danilo Petrucci down 1 place. Jack Miller in 17th place hopes to return to the action in Japan in 3 weeks' time, as does Andrea Iannone. Both of them missed the race here. Bradley Smith hopes to return in Japan after missing the last 3 races. And Alex Rose, unfortunately not able to ride here today with a foot injury. Constructors' Championship, 13 points between Honda and Yamaha. It's very tight between the 2 major Japanese manufacturers. Ducati 3rd, Suzuki 4, Aprilia, and a really good day today, Aprilia, in 5th place. Teams Championship, pretty tight. Repsol Honda, 403, 25 points behind Mobistar Yamaha. Then Team Suzuki X-Star, Ducati, Monster Tech 3, Yamaha, Octo Pramac Ducati, LCR Honda, Aprilia Racing Gresini in 9th place. Punabar Aspar team in 10th, and Australia Galicia Mark VDS behind them. Independent Riders Championship, another great ride by Cal Crutchlow this afternoon.